Israel is pressing ahead with a major military offensive in Gaza City as Hamas warns the attacks could send ceasefire efforts back to square one. Israeli forces report close quarters combat with Hamas fighters, saying they are destroying terrorist infrastructure. Hundreds of thousands of people, meantime, are fleeing their homes once again under yet new evacuation orders. Gaza Civil Defense says bodies are trapped under buildings and lying in the streets, but it's just too dangerous for crews to try and retrieve them. The Palestinian Red Crescent says all of its medical clinics in Gaza City are now out of service. You want to go to our Jeremy Diamond now for more, who's live for us in Jerusalem. You know, what a nightmare repeating itself here again. I mean, evacuations ordered, and again, it's a familiar horror, right? Where the heck do these people go? What more are you learning about exactly the Israeli operation that is underway and what it means for civilians?
Well, you're right, Paula. Tens of thousands of Palestinians are once again on the move. We have seen over the course of just the last week evacuation orders for parts of Khan Yunis, and then in northern Gaza, several evacuation orders in different neighborhoods of Gaza City. And that is where the Israeli military has been concentrating its military operations over the last 48 hours or so inside Gaza City, neighborhoods where the Israeli military says that Hamas has returned to areas that the Israeli military had previously cleared. And that is what we are continuing to see in Gaza, absent a long-term strategy for the governance, an alternative to Hamas's governance in Gaza, the Israeli military going back into areas that it had previously withdrawn from. And not only is that resulting in increased fighting, increased artillery shelling, airstrikes, but also, of course, the impact to civilians, not only those who are killed and wounded in the fighting, rescue workers having trouble actually reaching the dead and the wounded as a result of the heavy fighting. And then, of course, as we were talking about, the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, in some cases, of people who are moving to areas of central Gaza, to that Al-Mawasi coastal area, where they are simply finding that there are not enough resources for the number of people who are currently displaced in Gaza. Even things like tents are running in short supply in Gaza at the moment. And for now, the only salve that they could potentially get is if indeed there is a ceasefire agreement. We are seeing those negotiations continuing this week in Cairo as well as in Doha, Qatar. But for now, no deal as of yet. Paula.
You know, the other aspect here that you've been following closely has been whether or not this will also be a conflict on another front, Israel's northern border. What did you learn by visiting?
Well, late last week, we traveled to Shtula, which is just a few hundred feet away from the Lebanese border, to get a sense of just how tense things are there and to see some of the destruction wrought by Hezbollah's anti-tank missiles.
They're going to see us right when we get up there, and we have 3 minutes.
Colonel Jordan Hertzberg is talking about Hezbollah.
After 3 minutes, they can start the fire, so we're going to do it very quick.
He's taking us to an Israeli community on the front lines of Israel's simmering conflict with the Lebanese militant group. Up a winding mountain road, past a roadblock and a security fence, and into the village of Shtula, which sits right on the Lebanese border.
We've just entered the village of Shtula. This is a community of about 300 people normally, but right now it's just an absolute ghost town.
Let's go quick.
The 3-minute countdown starts as soon as we are within line of sight of southern Lebanon.
Look how close we are to the border here.
Where Hezbollah militants armed with anti-tank missiles are closely watching the border, prepared to fire once again.
This house was hit by an anti-tank missile right here, past the window.
2 homes, one next to the other, hit in the same attack, according to the Israeli military.
This is one of the most dangerous places in northern Israel right now. We're in Shtula, and you can see the Lebanese border just right across there, across from those concrete barriers. We're just a few hundred feet, and what that means is that we are within range of those anti-tank guided missiles, and that is exactly what has wrought this destruction on this civilian home.
The threat of anti-tank missiles is part of why Israel wants to push Hezbollah back to the Litani River, about 18 miles north of the border, outside the range of those missiles.
Okay, we have 35 seconds.
We've been here for 3 minutes. The colonel has been watching his watch the entire time that we've been here, and now he's telling us it's time to go.
Hezbollah has been firing rockets, missiles, and drones at northern Israel since October 8th. Israel has responded with airstrike after airstrike, devastating parts of southern Lebanon, where more than 90,000 people have fled their homes since October. In northern Israel, about 60,000 Israelis have been displaced. People like Ori Eliyahu and his 9 dogs.
Tuti is the leader.
His grandfather was among the first people Israel settled in Shtula in the late 1960s. And after spending his summers there as a child, Ori decided to move there.
Shtula is a special place for you.
It's my heart, to be honest.
If you could return to Shtula, you would.
Of course, I will return at the first moment I will be able to, yeah.
But he says that may not be the case for families with children.
I don't think that there is a condition that will make them come back, because whenever they know that Hezbollah is like Hamas can do what they did on October 7 and attack them, they want to be returned. And there is no real solution, because a big war might ruin everything.
A big war is exactly what the Israeli military is preparing for.
Our division has been training for this war for a long, long time.
Whether that war materializes is unclear, but for Colonel Hertzberg, the objective is obvious: get Israel's northern residents back into their homes.
Whether it happens before a major ground operation or after ground operation, I can't tell you. I'm on the tactical level, I'm not at the political level or the policy level, but the people are going to come back sooner than later.
And Paula, the situation along that border still remains very, very tense, and it's not clear yet whether it will blow up into that all-out war that has been feared. What we do know, though, is those ceasefire negotiations happening this week in Doha, Qatar, they could not only unlock a ceasefire in Gaza, but they could also potentially unlock a broader peace in the region.
Yeah, and as you pointed out in your report, tens of thousands of people on both sides of that border want to get back to their lives. It's obviously an agricultural hub as well, and we'll wait to see if there is progress on these ceasefire talks. Jeremy Diamond for us. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.